As you can see, I've knit quite a bit of the scarf, but there are a couple of things I want to talk about. When you're doing a pattern like this, where you have knits next to purls, one of the things that can happen is the transition between those two stitches can become big, and you would have what is called ladders between the knits and the purls. And you see this frequently with cable patterns. And it's unattractive, and it's something that is easily fixed. Now, when I'm transitioning from a purl, if you can see, this is a purl, to a knit, I need to bring the yarn back. And generally, this isn't a problem area, because I've brought the yarn back and then I knit the stitches. Now, I've got a little bit of futz smudge on the yarn. Okay. The problem comes when you're going from the knit to the purl. So let's look slowly and see what happens there. I'm bringing my yarn forward, and then I'm inserting my needle and I'm purling. And unless I do something, notice the amount of yarn that it takes to go between those two stitches. And this excess yarn is going to do one of two things. It's going to leave a ladder between the knit and the purl, or it's going to work back into the knit stitch, making the knit stitch large and unattractive. And this is one reason when you see ribbing that frequently with ribs they'll tell you to use a smaller needle. It's because you don't rib tight enough. Now what I do is I'm at the knit and I want to do that purl. I'm going to bring the yarn all the way forward. Make sure that there's no slack in there. And then I'm going to purl that stitch. And you can see that there's not that much yarn in there. And then I'm going to go on. Now again, this isn't as much of a problem between a purl to a knit, because generally most knitters pull that yarn back fairly tight. But when I'm ribbing or working a pattern like this, what I do is I make a point to just get in the habit of bringing the yarn forward a bit tightly, working that first purl maybe a bit tighter than I would the other stitches, and that's not a problem. And I'm gonna knit, 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 and I'm going to work up to that last stitch. Now there's another video on how I'm getting this edge, and you can see the selvage stitch video for information on that.